Good morning, everyone, and Shabbat Shalom and Mazal Tov. There's a term that's used as a derogatory term called a HoBo. HoBo is usually referred to a homeless person. But what is the origin of the word HoBo? HoBo was from 1929, 1939 was the Great Depression. And there were many people, literally they estimate about 4 million Americans, who couldn't earn a living at home. So what did they do? They started traveling around as nomadic people, just going from one place to another place, trying to find some earnings to make a meager living as vagrants. And when they made enough money, their goal was to go back home to their family. So the word HoBo stands for homeward bound. They were always going towards their home, and they were traveling around like nomads, looking for a few dollars to be able to make some money and go back home to their family. And in that sense, we are all hobos. Why? Because Judaism teaches us that we're all on a journey here in this world. This is not our final destination. The soul is sent into this world, and it has to make its way back home. Its way back home is to Hashem. And the purpose of this journey is like the hobos of the 1930s, to make some spiritual livelihood, to be able to take it home with us. A matter of fact, and the Hasidic masters talk about this week's Torah portion, they say that the metaphor of Noach and the ark is the metaphor of life. Why? Because the soul comes into this world. This world for the soul is like being thrown into turbulent, treacherous waters. It's like being on the high seas. In the seas, there are storms, there are different weather conditions that make it very treacherous. So how do you survive the ocean, the high seas? You need an ark. You need an ark. So God tells Noah, go into the ark. But the Hasidic masters explain that the word for ark in Hebrew is teva. What is the other meaning of the Hebrew word teva? Literally, the word teva means words. So the rabbis say, how do you survive the seas, the flooding, raging waters, the pressures, the anxieties, the stresses, the hardships of life? God says, go into the ark, or alternatively, go into the words. Which words? The words of prayer, the words of Torah study. And by immersing yourself in the words of Torah study and prayer, they will provide a shelter for you to protect you from all of the flooding, raging waters, to be able to navigate life and get through all the turbulence and be able to survive and reach the ultimate destination in safety and security. And this is something that rabbis use in many of their words when they say this world is only a thoroughfare going to the world to come. We got to keep our eyes on the final destination and not get distracted in this world, but realize that the goal is to arrive with as many mitzvot, with as many good deeds into the next world. And there are many stories along this line. The most famous one is the wealthy traveler who came to the Chafetz Chaim, and he saw his bare living conditions. And he said, where's your furniture? And the rabbi said, where's your furniture? And the rich man said, what do you mean, where's my furniture? At home I have a lot of furniture. And he said, I'm just traveling through life too. In my spiritual home, eventually I'll have a lot of furniture. Right now it's just a travel. I'm on the road. I don't need to have all of this material things with me. So we have to remember we're all homeward bound. And like the metaphor is used of a king once who said to someone, I'll give you 60 minutes in my treasure house. You can take whatever you want. But the king knew that this man loves music. So he got the best musicians to play the best music to distract him from taking from the riches of the treasure house. Before I knew it, the 60 minutes were up. And he said, I could have grabbed so much wealth, but I was busy enjoying myself listening to the music, and it distracted me. And so too, there are many distractions in this world. We have to stay focused on our real goal, which is to accomplish the greatest thing in the world, which is to do mitzvot in this world. So we should have spiritual resources to come back home to our heavenly abode.